Cameron Carter-Vickers is back. After 9 months out with an Achilles injury, O'Neill has confirmed he goes straight into the team for tomorrow's season opener against Dundee. We have also got a massive update on Arne Engels as West Ham's bid has been rejected, and O'Neill has given his clearest verdict yet on the fee. Plus, Alistair Johnston could be heading to the Premier League for £14 million. A fresh Serie A transfer link has emerged, and Celtic are closing in on a new signing. Big morning, let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Cameron Carter-Vickers is set to return to action tomorrow night as Celtic kick off their title defence against Dundee, and Martin O'Neill has confirmed the centre-back goes straight back into the starting lineup after a 9-month absence. Carter-Vickers last played a competitive game on the 23rd of October last year. That was the Europa League win over Sturm Graz at Celtic Park, and he collapsed at the final whistle in obvious distress, his season ending there and then with an Achilles injury that required surgery. It was a major blow at the time, and it meant O'Neill never had him available from the moment he came back in as interim manager. The 28-year-old cost Celtic £6 million from Spurs in the summer of 2022, and at his best, he has been one of the most commanding defenders in the squad. His pace, his physicality, and his reading of the game are exactly what O'Neill needs at the back, and the coaching staff are confident he can return to that level. Speaking ahead of the Dundee match, O'Neill gave a positive update on the defender's condition, saying, "With Cameron back now, hopefully, we've got a bit of balance. He's getting there game by game. The coaching staff are telling me they think he can get back to what he was, which would be very encouraging." O'Neill also made clear he has not had a proper chance to assess Carter-Vickers in person until now. He said, "I've never had him available since I've been back, so I didn't know what he's like. I've seen Cam play from a distance, but you don't know until you're working with somebody. His attitude is very strong. He wants to do well. He is training each day." The timing is significant because Celtic head into the opener with Liam Scales banned for 2 games, and Austin Trusty only just back after being given permission to join the squad late following his World Cup involvement with the USA. Carter-Vickers returning is the best possible news ahead of what is going to be a massive week for the club. Season opener tomorrow night, Champions League playoff draw on Monday, and the transfer window in full swing. Now for the main story, as Martin O'Neill has confirmed, West Ham United have had a bid rejected for Arne Engels and made absolutely clear the offer fell well short of Celtic's valuation for the Belgian midfielder. Speaking to the media, O'Neill addressed the situation directly, saying, "I think there's definitely truth in that. There's been something put in, but it doesn't remotely meet our valuation for a start. That is about as clear a statement as you will get from a manager in a live transfer situation. West Ham have made their move, and Celtic have knocked it back." The fee being reported as Celtic's asking price is £25 million, which is the same figure Nottingham Forest were told to pay when they made 3 bids during the January window, all of which were rejected. Engels has reportedly reached a verbal agreement with West Ham over personal terms, which means the player himself wants the move. He has also changed agents this summer, which almost always signals a player positioning himself for a significant transfer. The 2 clubs remain some distance apart on the fee, but West Ham have the financial capacity to return with an improved offer. The situation is moving quickly. Engels is 22, has 2 years left on his deal at Parkhead, and just came off the best season of his career with 7 goals and 8 assists as Celtic won the domestic double. Celtic are in a strong negotiating position and have no obligation to sell below their valuation, but with Engels clearly keen on a move and clubs circling, this is likely to be the story that dominates the next few weeks. For supporters, the important thing is not just the fee Celtic get, but what they do with it. The club have already been working on a replacement in the form of Mika Baur, which we will cover later, but Engels has been central to how Celtic play, and replacing his output at the highest level is a significant challenge that the board cannot afford to get wrong. In other news, Alistair Johnston could be the next player to follow Engels out of the door this summer, with reports today confirming Celtic would be willing to sell the Canadian right-back if an offer of around £14 million arrived. Both Everton and Fulham are in the picture. Everton manager David Moyes has already been in direct contact with Martin O'Neill about his interest in Johnston, something O'Neill confirmed at his press conference, saying, "I think Everton have been in contact. I'm not sure if a bid has been put out. In fairness, David did call me last week to say there would be contact. I don't know how far that has progressed. Johnston is 27 years old and has been one of Celtic's most important players since joining from CF Montreal in January 2023. He has made 122 appearances for the club, contributing 7 goals and 23 assists, and his contract runs until 2029, which gives Celtic real leverage in any negotiations. The complication is that Johnston missed a significant chunk of last season with a hamstring injury, limiting him to just 11 appearances in all competitions. He then went to the World Cup with Canada and was excellent throughout, which raised his profile among Premier League clubs considerably. Everton see him as the answer to a real problem position. They have no recognised right-back following Nathan Patterson's expected departure, and Moyes has identified Johnston as the ideal solution. Celtic do not want to lose him, particularly heading into a Champions League qualifying campaign that begins in a matter of weeks. But if £14 million arrives, the club may have little choice but to take it, particularly given their wider recruitment plans and the financial demands of the summer ahead. In other news, a fresh Serie A transfer link has emerged today, with Italian journalist Niccolò Schira reporting that Celtic are preparing to submit a new bid for Torino midfielder Gvidas Gineitis. Gineitis is 22 years old and Lithuanian and has made 76 Serie A appearances despite his age, which is a remarkable number for someone so young in one of Europe's most physically demanding leagues. He can operate centrally or in a more advanced attacking midfield role, and his versatility is one of the things that has attracted Celtic's interest. The obstacle is the fee. Torino are reported to be looking for somewhere between 14 and 15 million euros before they would consider selling. Transfermarkt currently values Gineitis at around 6 million euros, which means Torino are asking for more than double what the market suggests. That gap is significant. Celtic's transfer business this summer has been frustratingly slow for supporters. Camilo Duran and Casper Ho are the only 2 arrivals so far, and the squad needs significant reinforcement before the Champions League playoff in August. The Engels sale, if it goes through, would give the club considerably more to spend, and a player like Gineitis at the right price would represent an ambitious addition to the midfield options. Transfer negotiations rarely begin at the seller's ideal price. If Celtic believe there is room to move Torino down from their initial asking price, the fact that a new bid is reportedly being prepared suggests the club are taking this one seriously. Lastly, Celtic appear to be closing in on the signing of Mika Baur from Paderborn in what is shaping up to be a significant piece of business as the club plan ahead for life without Arne Engels. Baur is 22 years old and German and played a central role in Paderborn's promotion to the Bundesliga last season. The midfielder registered 4 goals and 6 assists in 36 appearances and has been described by those who watched him regularly as outstanding. His agent has already been in Glasgow to progress discussions, and personal terms are understood to have been agreed with the player. The sticking point has been the fee. Celtic submitted an improved offer of 3.5 million euros plus 1 million euros in add-ons, bringing the total package to 4.5 million euros. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.